Hello, hello, hello. Happy Thursday, everyone. Welcome to Travel Talk Live. It's also St. Patrick's Day. I'm rocking the green. Didn't want to get pinched today. Maybe you have on your green too. Again, happy Thursday. It's Travel Talk Live. I'm Tabitha Washington, owner of the Travel Crew, where we create phenomenal travel experiences for phenomenal people. And I'm so glad to be back. We didn't have a live session last week, but we're back today. I'm glad to see everyone is tuning in today. Um, if you are out there, which I can already see some people are putting comments now, feel free. Go ahead and just drop a comment saying hello. We have people on the Facebook page. We have a YouTube page and our Facebook group. Thank you, Andrea. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you also. So I don't know if y'all have plans or something. I don't have plans. My biggest plan was to wear green. So, how is everyone doing? I hope everyone is doing great out there and having a great Thursday, y'all. It's almost Friday. Anybody have, has anybody had trouble this week adjusting with the time change? Because normally I don't have this much trouble, but y'all, this has just been a funky week for me. Wonky, whatever you want to call it. I just have had trouble. I've felt tired throughout the day. I've just felt off and everything. So I don't know. And now you hear that what the Senate unanimously passed to in daylight savings. But the funny part is the medical associations are saying they picked the wrong one to keep, that they want to stick with the one that happens in the spring and that they should do the one in fall. But whatever. They're so happy they did some bipartisan effort. But anyway, if anybody else has had trouble this week or is struggling, let me know. Again, thank you for joining in. This is Travel Talk Live. And to those who don't know, I'm Tabitha Washington, owner of the Travel Crew. So tonight, I wanted to talk about was upgrade your travel experience, upgrade your travel life. That's what we're talking about today. So when normally you think about upgrading your travel, what do you think of? You're going to think of, you might think that you might go first class or business class on a plane. And even if you don't do that, maybe you're just going to go ahead and get a priority seat. Andrea said, upgrade me, upgrade me. Yes, girl. Some people, they may not go first class, but they'll go ahead and get they have the seats with the bigger leg room or maybe the wider seats. Hey, Mary, joining in from YouTube. So happy, y'all. And just a side note, if y'all need I'll Mary, put your information in the comment section. Y'all, if y'all need some transportation in the New Orleans area, you want this works for an upgrade. If you want to get that transportation to the airport and stuff, you need to holler at Mary. So Mary, drop your information in the comment section so everybody can see it. So anyway, back to this. So normally when you think of upgrades, you think of that. Andrea's put in there swim up suites at resorts. Exactly. You may think of an ocean view resort as your upgrade. Um, let's see. I even wrote down a list. I had swim up suite, ocean view, bigger seats, early check-in is an upgrade, or a late checkout can be an upgrade. There's so many different things to do it, but we always think of upgrades in as far as the actual travel experience. But what are y'all doing to upgrade before you even get to that spot? Before you get to your destination, what are you doing for the upgrade? Oh, Andrea said butler. Oh, yes, she's that chick, y'all. Ain't nothing wrong with a little touch of bougie. She got her butler. And Andrea also said private transportation with champagne. So clearly, y'all, Andrea's all about the upgrades. And it's all good. But tonight we're also going to talk about upgrading things that maybe not everybody is thinking about. I'm talking about upgrading before you even get to the destination. So before we even start with that, let me start off with the first thing that I want to say. Before we can even start living this upgraded life, Do y'all have your passports yet? I need to know. Did you get it? Did y'all? I mean, there was this time that we couldn't even travel. And I told y'all to work on getting your passports because the time to process had lengthened because of COVID. So last I checked, it is now taking 8 to 11 weeks to get a passport process, a passport application. And so the world is opening up. We got to travel more. Everybody's excited to travel more. But if you don't have that passport, you're limiting yourself. Now, the U.S. is beautiful. The U.S. has great things to see in the continental U.S. And then we have the territories or outlier parts of the U.S. like Hawaii, Alaska, and then the territories. I just came back from Puerto Rico. You got the U.S. Virgin Islands. There's so many places to see. But if you want to get past that, even just to Mexico, y'all, you're going to have to get your passport. So that's the first thing. Go ahead and get that passport so you can upgrade your travel game, that you're going to see more than just what is in the territory of the United States. And for people, yes, Andrea said get that passport. And for the people that have their passport, can you put your hands on it right now? If you can, and if you can't right now, do it after this call. Look at the expiration date on your passport. Some people, we let that slip. I know two people in my family, you know who you are, whose passport has expired and they haven't gone back yet to get it renewed. You need to renew it, and you have to keep in mind that it takes some time to get it renewed. Also, what you need to keep in mind is that some countries are not going to let you enter if you have less than 6 months left on your passport before it expires. So, in other words, if you have a trip in June and you're headed to a resort in June, then they're not going to let you into the country if your passport expires in November, because that's less than 6 months. And you need to keep that in mind. Not all countries use the 6 months, but the majority of them. There are a few that are actually earlier, but you need to check with the destination, like the tourism board of the destination you're visiting. But that's something key. So don't think, oh, my passport expires in November, I can, travel up until then. Mm-mm. You need to do it before that. And you need to keep in mind that in order to renew your passport, you got to turn in the other passport. So you need to factor in that time, like, okay, I'm going to turn it in when I know I'm not traveling. So these are things to keep in mind. Mary says her passport expires in 2030. Yes. See, Mary's good to go. But keep that in mind, guys. So those who need to renew their passport, or those who haven't applied, yeah, I don't know why y'all haven't gotten your passport yet. You need to go ahead and get on it. So we got that out the way. So we got the passport and we're ready to travel. So here are the things. You've got your passport, your travel is booked. If you come with a travel crew, everything is all set up because that's what we do. And you got to the airport. Maybe you use Mary's service to get you to the airport and everything so you can ride in style. And then what happens? You get in, you check your bag. Maybe you went ahead and you use your phone because you downloaded your boarding pass to your phone because you upgraded. We're not carrying paper boarding passes anymore. We're downloading it to the phone. We checked our luggage and we're ready. We're smiling. We're feeling good. And then what's the next step, y'all? When you get to when you're at the airport, you got to go through the TSA line. Okay, that dreaded TSA line since 9/11. You know, you got to go through the TSA line. Start undressing. Even when you're getting ready for the airport and you're thinking of your outfit, you're thinking you want something comfortable for a long flight, but then you have to think, what shoes do I feel like taking off? And let me not wear a belt and just all kind of stuff. Well, guys, instead of doing that, how many of y'all have gone ahead and did TSA pre-check? Now that's what you need to do because that's an upgrade. What does TSA pre-check does? What does it do? It helps you eliminate that physical portion of the TSA line that you have to go through. Number one, the line is shorter, and then you don't have to take off your shoes. You don't have to take off your belt, and you don't have to take your things out of your carry-on bag, like your phone and your tablet, your laptop, and all that. All that can stay in the bag. So it's a simple process. And I admit, had a travel business and didn't even for a while didn't even have TSA pre-check. I don't know why. It's just what I did. And it was so funny because every time I travel and I got in the TSA line and then I would look at the pre-check line and see how short it was, I would like, when I come back from this trip, I'm going to apply. And I would keep putting it off. Y'all don't put it off. So just to give you some details about the pre-check, it's $85 for 5 years. That comes out to $17 a year. That's not bad. And like I said, what it helps you through is with the physical portion of the TSA security line is that you're going to bypass all of the somebody said they hate getting naked. Uh, that part where you got to start stripping and taking all your items out of your bag. You get to skip that, and it's a much shorter line. So that is one way to upgrade your travel life. Stop standing in that long line. It with TSA pre-check, I mean, I don't have to get to the airport as early because I know I don't have to stand in a long line. Now that still could be a risk. So let me give you some of the things that you need to keep in mind with TSA pre-check. Number one, TSA pre-check is basically just for United States territory up until last week. So I don't know if you heard, but the Bahamas will start implementing TSA pre-check, but that's the only international location that has it. Everywhere else, it's only for the United States, and that does include the U.S. Virgin Islands. I just came back from Puerto Rico a couple of months ago. TSA pre-check is there too. So it's not something you're going to use at all your international locations except for the Bahamas, which it hasn't gone into effect yet, but it's going to go in effect. Also, they TSA does have the option to close the pre-check line. Sometimes if it's not, let me I've seen it where, and I can't remember where it was, but there wasn't a lot of people in just a normal TSA line, so they just went ahead and closed the pre-check and everybody went through the same line. You never know. You have no say or control in that, so you just got to go with the flow. But for the most part, you're going to have that separate line. So that's something to keep in mind. But everywhere there's TSA, there's a pre-check. Now, another thing, if you want to take it higher than the TSA pre-check, what you need to look into is global entry. Now, global entry is only $15 more. So that's $100 for 5 years, which comes out to $20 a year. And what global entry does is, in addition, you get all the benefits of TSA pre-check with the global entry, but it also helps with the customs process when you enter back into the U.S. from an international location. So we're talking about with documentation and things like that. Anybody that's traveled internationally, you know, when you hit U.S. soil again, that customs process can be a beast. I've gone through it where it's happened, move very well, and then I've gone through it where um, I cannot remember where I was coming from at the moment, but I know there was a flight from China that was late, running late, and it was a packed flight, and they were holding up the customs line that I had an hour between my next flight, and most of it was spent in the customs line because of the people in front of me. And I thought I was going to have time, take my time with an hour, but it all got used up. With global entry, because you've pre-applied and everything, it speeds that process. So let me tell you what happened. I used global entry for my recent trip to Dubai. I landed in LA because that's where I was headed. So I flew from Dubai to LA, and I went through this special global entry line. Now, what's so tripped out about it is as I approached the machine, it scanned my face and said, "Welcome, Tabitha." And I was like, okay, I wasn't expecting that, but that's what happened. Pressed a few buttons on the screen and they said, "Proceed on." I went through customs so fast. I did not have to stay in a long line. And I did. I walked through like, oh, feeling I was feeling myself. I can't lie because I knew how it was to go through the customs line and I just breezed on through. So it was worth it. And like I said, it's only $15 more than TSA pre-check. So I would say if you are going to go ahead and get TSA pre-check, which you should, but you know you're going to be an international traveler, which you should, just go ahead and do the global entry because then it just kills two birds with one stone. Now, to apply for either one, you need to go to the TSA website. and you can fill out an application and pay there. For TSA pre-check, there are, I think you'll be called back to do like some fingerprinting and background check. I can't say for sure. I know there's a process, but I didn't go through that. I went through the global entry process. For global entry, you are going to have to schedule an interview. It's a short interview. It didn't take long. To the people in New Orleans, let me tell you how short it was. I scheduled mine at the airport, and there's that temporary parking when you pick somebody up that doesn't charge. I forgot whatever the time frame is that it's free. I was in and out before I had to even pay for parking. And just so you know, it's that office is located by the baggage claim carousels, like a little past that. And there's an office there. You go in line, they ask you a few questions, and then they scan your fingers. It's not an ink thing; it's a digital fingerprint scan and whatever. They're going to give you a card in the mail, and you get your what is it? Known traveler ID. It's a number. You don't have to have the card that they mail. You don't have to keep it with you. What you need is that number. It'll also be emailed to you. Once you have that number, every time you book a flight, you're going to enter in that number, the known traveler ID. That once you book that number, then the airline knows that you qualify for TSA pre-check. They know if you have global entry and all that. It'll appear on your boarding passes. So that's something to think about. So definitely go ahead, guys. We need to go ahead and start upgrading that. The upgrade is that it's just a smoother process. I mean, how good is that? You come in the airport and you're not waiting forever and stuff. You can just go on in and get yourself set up. Now, some people, I know people in New Orleans have seen this. People in Atlanta have it. It's not everywhere, but that's Clear. And some people have asked, what exactly is Clear? Clear is a private process. I'll say that. And it allows you, I'm trying to, and if anybody has Clear, chime in. It kind of has some of the benefits of TSA pre-check. Clear can be used, you'll see it at airports, but it's also at venues like sports stadiums and concert venues. What that does is it gives you the ability to enter without having to show documents, and you get to go through TSA without taking off your shoes and stuff. So you get the advantages of TSA pre-check. But one of the things it has over TSA pre-check is you don't have to present an ID or a boarding pass. When you're in the TSA line, whether you're pre-check or regular, before you even go through the metal detector and all that, you have to present an ID and a boarding pass. With Clear, you just approach it and they do a bio scan. It could either be your eye, and then I think you could do the finger, and you will bypass the people in line at the New Orleans airport. You'll see the people with Clear will actually get escorted in front of those with TSA pre-check. So it is something to consider. Personally, I haven't seen where I need it more than what I have with TSA pre-check, because even though the Clear people do get priority over me to get through the security section, it hasn't been that I've been postponed that much and I'm like, oh my God, I got to get this. Another thing to consider is Clear is not everywhere. It is not at every airport. I think I have someone here that is only like at 30 something airports. So that's something to consider too. Obviously, if you're at an airport where they don't have Clear, then you don't need to get it. But if you are frequently, let's say Atlanta, I know Atlanta is a very, very, very busy airport. I do know people that have Clear that fly out of Atlanta. It benefits them. So far in New Orleans, I haven't seen why it would benefit me, but that's something to keep in mind. Clear is $179 per year, so that or $15 a month. So it does cost more than the other options, but depending on where you are, it may or may not benefit you. Guys, if you have questions as I'm talking about this, just drop them in the comment section, questions or comments, and I'll make sure that I address them. And we've been talking about upgrading our travel life. And so far I've talked about making sure you get your passport, which you need, TSA pre-check, global entry, and now I just started talking about Clear. And to those that have just tuned in, I'm Tabitha Washington, owner of the Travel Crew, where we provide phenomenal travel experiences for phenomenal people. And I'm so glad you're tuning in right now. And like I said, if you have any questions or comments about what I'm presenting right now, please drop them in the comment section. I'll make sure to address it. So, we've talked about, like I said, the TSA pre-check, the global entry, and Clear. So what does that do? That's gotten you through the airport with ease, and you're feeling good about yourself because you got the vacation all set up. You didn't have to wait in line. You didn't have to strip and take off your clothes when you came back from your trip. When you came back and landed on U.S. soil from your international trip, you breezed through customs. So what possibly could be left to do to upgrade? Okay, I got it for y'all. How many of y'all are taking advantage of airport lounges? I don't see anybody in the comment section say they do an airport lounge. Anyone? Well, you know what? It's all good because I'll be honest, I just took advantage of an airport lounge a couple of months ago. I had always said I was going to do it. I just never made the effort to do it. And y'all, I've been spoiled. I've been turned. I've had the touch of the bougie, whatever you want to call it. But I think I'm going to have to make it my new thing. Now, I went ahead and did the airport lounge because I knew I was going to have a very long stretch between the first flight and second flight intentionally. I intentionally set it up like that. And I wanted to get some work done. I didn't want to just be in an airport. I wanted to go somewhere private. So I bought a 1-day pass for an airport lounge. So if you've never done an airport lounge, what they are, they're set up. Some of them are sponsored by airlines. Some of them are sponsored by the airports or private companies or whatever. And they're private areas that you pay for access or you get access to. And in them, depending on how it's set up, you're looking at a nice area to sit and have food. Food is usually included with the airport lounge, a workstation area. You got a place to lounge around. You have a concierge desk that's helping you with everything. Nice bathrooms, even showers. You can even sign up for a shower time. And some have private rooms like to work and stuff like that. So I was headed to Puerto Rico and I did the American Airlines Lounge in Miami. I went ahead and bought a day pass for that. Not everybody, not every airline sells a day pass. American Airlines does. Delta stopped doing the day pass. I can let you know that Delta doesn't do it for their lounges. And it was great. It was great to walk in. It was great to just set up at a desk and do my work. And there was like a quiet area for people to sit back. There was food available, probably too much food available because I kept snacking. They had blondies and I kept grabbing that. They had healthy snacks, they had non-healthy snacks. There's a bar set up, but it was just a nice space, a nice quiet space to just chill out and relax. So if you have a long layover, it's something to consider. You, like I said, not everybody has day passes as far as the airlines are concerned, but some do. You need to look at some of your credit cards give you access to these lounges. Some of the American Express, Chase, I think it's at Capital One is new with getting them. You need to check out those. Also, you don't need to concern yourself with there only being airline sponsored airport lounges. There are some that are not sponsored. Like in New Orleans, there is, I think it's called the MSY Lounge. I haven't used it because I pretty much try to time my arrival time at the New Orleans airport that I'm not waiting around that long. So there's been no need for me to use that airport lounge. But there is one. New Orleans has a Delta lounge and then just a general airport lounge. And I want to say it's called the MSY Lounge. Anyway, they have that. So you will find airports that have a general lounge and then an airline specific. With the airline specific lounges, sometimes you have to have a ticket, for that airline for that day to use. Most of the time, I should say. Some airlines require that you have an international ticket, that you can't just have a domestic flight, but it depends. You need to check that out. Sometimes the credit card that you have can help you bypass that. Also, there's two sites I want you to check out if you're interested in the airport lounge, and that's prioritypass.com. That sells passes to various airport lounges across the US. Another thing is to download the Lounge Buddy app, or go to loungebuddy.com. There you can Lounge Buddy will let you see what you may have access to depending on the type of credit card you have, or what are the limitations or directions to get in a particular airport lounge. I'm just telling y'all, um like I said, it was, I don't know why I put it off, but once I experienced it, I was like, oh yeah, I've been touched by the bougie bug and I don't want to go back. So if I don't, if you're doing a day pass, I wouldn't say you needed to buy a day pass for just an hour stay. That's just my opinion. If you have like an hour between the two flights, I don't know. It's on you. If it just comes with your credit card or with whatever you have, then yeah, I would go ahead and take advantage of it, because, like I said, it's a nicer bathroom, a nicer spot to chill. There's usually food and stuff available that you can do, and it's a nice spot to wait. But definitely, if you have a longer layover, take the time and try to figure out how you can chill in the lounge instead of just in the main part of the airport. So, like I said, consider that with upgrading. Y'all, we grown, we deserve good things. We've worked hard. We've done everything we're supposed to do. Now it's time to just play hard. And this is what I'm saying. Go ahead and upgrade your travel experience. Your upgrade does not just stop, or I should say, it doesn't just start with the actual destination, like your room and everything. That's all important too. You want to do that, but go ahead and upgrade just before you even get to the destination. It's a vacation, so why not make the process just as smooth and easy as possible, so you just everything just smooth sailing on in. So, just to recap some of the things I want you to consider to upgrade your travel experience. One, yes, get that passport going. Those whose passport is about to expire, please go ahead and start your renewal process. And those few of you who already let their passport expire, you need to go on and just go ahead and get that renewed. Look into TSA pre-check. It's $85 for 5 years. Also look into global entry for $15 more at $100 for 5 years. If you're interested in Clear, CLEAR, it's $179 per year. Those three all will help you with passing the security points before you get on the plane. And of course, once you get there, you've gone through security, what are you going to do? Where are you going to go to just spend that time before you get on your flight? That's when you need to start checking out the airport lounges, y'all. It's a whole different type of experience. So I don't see any questions in the comment section. I appreciate the comments. Y'all giving me good feedback and stuff through it. I'm just reading through some of the comments. I got a lot of yes. Okay, so that means y'all on this. That means y'all gonna do this. All right. So we're pretty much, oh, this is good time. We did about a half hour of talking. That's good. So it's still pretty outside. It's daylight. Got to get used to this time, y'all. So if nobody has any more questions, I am going to go ahead and just call it a night. Once again, Tabitha Washington with the Travel Crew. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight as we talk about upgrading the travel experience. So I hope to see you next week. I also hope to see you on one of our upcoming trips. Now that I've given you the tips on upgrading your travel life, you need to go ahead and test it out with us. We got some good stuff going. We have some good stuff coming up. If you want to see what we got going on, here's the website you need to go to. Check us out. We have Los Cabos in a couple of months. South Africa. Oh gosh, a ski retreat, and gosh, more stuff coming up. I can't even think of working on some international things that you're not going to be able to go to if you don't get that passport. So go ahead and get it done. Thank you everyone for taking the time out to tune in, and I will see you later.